Alright you guys, so I'm back from my vacation. This is why this video is coming out a little bit later than I would like. But we got some stuff to talk about. Here are my final thoughts from Misfits 007, KSI versus Joe Fournier. Let's talk about it. Thank you guys so much for clicking on the video. Just a quick announcement for you guys. This Saturday, May 20th, around 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, I will be live for the undisputed lightweight championship of the world, Devin Haney versus Vasily Lomachenko. That is again at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time this Saturday, May 20th. Hope to see some of you there to watch an amazing fight. Alright, so first I'm going to talk about the fight that went just as expected. Deji dominates Swarms, 4 rounds to none in my opinion. This went as expected. Swarms had a hard time dealing with Deji's output. He had a hard time tracking Deji down. He got tired pretty early. Deji was pretty much able to do whatever he wanted. The only thing I see that's a problem from Deji that he needs to work on, he got caught in combination a lot. He got caught with his hands down, he got caught lacking. And if someone like Swarms was able to catch Deji clean, flush, with his hands down, imagine someone who has the actual punching power that can put you down. Deji could be in trouble in a fight like that. So Deji needs to work a little bit more on his defense, a little bit more on his head movement while in combination. He gets too stationary while he's throwing his combinations and flurries. So from that fight, it basically went as expected. The only thing I will say is Deji does need to work on his head movement while in combination. That's the only thing that I seen from that fight that I should take note of. But who should Deji fight next? I like that Alex Wasabi rematch. I'm not too mad about that. I would love to see that. They got history. They got unfinished business. That would be a great fight, a great co-main event type fight on a Misfits card. And now the fight that I told you guys, I predicted myself. I said the 3-round fight was going to get better of Salt Papi. And unfortunately it did. I like Salt Papi in a 6-round fight this fight. And as you saw, Anthony Taylor got pretty tired. But I told y'all, man, that 3 rounds, it's tough. It's very, very tough, which is why I'm surprised that his team let him take this fight. Anthony Taylor came in with the perfect game plan. Get all the way in or all the way out. Anthony Taylor was very smart. I know people don't like all the clinching and all that stuff. They might boo all that. They might be upset about that. But that's just how you got to beat Salt Papi. That's just how Anthony Taylor had to beat Salt Papi. He had to be all the way in or all the way out. Every time he got caught in the middle, Salt Papi countered him with that sharp, fast-ass left hand. Anthony Taylor needed to come in. And when he came in, he needed to be clinched. That's how he was winning. He was coming in hard with that straight right hand, landing it, clinching, landing some nice body shots, hooks to the body, hooks to the head, working in there. Looked really good on the judges to basically take all rounds, in my opinion. I think I gave that to Anthony Taylor all 3 rounds. So that fight, in my eyes, went as expected. As long as Anthony Taylor came in with the right game plan, which he did. He came in with an excellent game plan. Very smart decisions by him to not trade with Salt Papi, because Salt Papi's deadly. Salt Papi landed some hard shots on Anthony too, but he took it well and he got the job done. So props to him. For Anthony Taylor, I don't like that Slim fight. I think Slim is a little bit too small for Anthony. I think he should shoot for someone else, someone a little bit bigger. I think Slim is just a little too small. Anthony Taylor's gonna be able to walk through his shots too easily. So I don't really like that call out. I would like to see maybe Anthony Taylor fight someone like FaZe Temper or fight Le'Veon Bell. Anthony Taylor versus Le'Veon Bell would be a great fight. Great fight. And for Salt Papi, what's next for him? I'll give my thoughts after this last take. I'll give my thoughts on that after this last take. I don't think that this will be his next matchup, but this is the matchup I would really like to see Salt Papi have. But let's just hop into the main event. The controversy, the drama, the elbow hurt around the world. We're talking about KSI versus Joe Fournier. So I got some people asking, what do I think is next for KSI? Where does he go from here? What's going to happen with the decision? Well, I think Joe Fournier is going to contest this. He is going to go to the commission. They are going to overturn it. But here's the trick. Is it going to be KSI's first loss? Or is it going to be a no contest? I think it's going to be a no contest. Because Joe Fournier's team dropped the ball. They dropped the ball. I think if his team, as soon as they saw in the replay he got dropped due to an elbow, they should have ran to the commissioner. The commissioner is going to be there. They're always there for the fights. He should have ran to the commissioner and they should have contested it right then and there. They should have said no, 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 and they should have demanded a disqualification. They should have demanded it. They should have been going crazy. And because they didn't do that, KSI got the nod. If they do that, maybe they name a disqualification and Joe Fournier looks at a win right here, and then we look for a rematch. But now, since they didn't do that, KSI takes the win. They're going to go and contest it with the commission. They're going to label it as a no contest, which is meaning that the fight technically doesn't count. It's going to basically mean that the fight, almost as if the fight never happened. So what's next for KSI? Should they do a rematch? I know a lot of you don't want to see that rematch, and neither do I. I think we saw enough of what that fight will look like. KSI just looked way too fast, way too strong. He looked way too overwhelming for someone like Joe Fournier. Joe Fournier just looked a little too stiff in there. Joe Fournier was getting caught with every big shot that KSI threw. And let's be real. KSI landed that overhand right, wobbled him. And if KSI lands his fist instead of the elbow, Joe Fournier gets knocked out in the same manner. So I don't want to see this fight again. Who should KSI fight next? I mean, of course, the obvious answer is Tommy Fury. We'd love to see that fight. And not only will that fight show what KSI is really made of, but then it gives somewhat, so I say somewhat because every fighter is different on each day, but it gives somewhat of an idea of where KSI stacks up with Jake Paul. And that fight plays in KSI's favor now. You saw Tommy Fury there ringside, scouting his next opponent, or his possible next opponent at the time. And here's the thing. Him getting Joe Fournier out of there in that fashion, it doesn't give Tommy that much information to work with. It doesn't give Tommy that much film on KSI to study. So going into that Tommy Fury fight, KSI still has a lot of weapons hidden that Tommy Fury doesn't know about. KSI has a lot of tools that he could still use that Tommy hasn't seen. So that's what's really benefiting KSI coming into this Tommy Fury fight. But we'll talk more about that if they announce the fight later in the future. But what I was getting to before, well, who I think Salt Papi should fight next is Joe Fournier. And here's why. Joe has unfinished business. He got elbowed. It sucks. You got unfinished business. I would say go take care of their next guy. Go take care of Salt Papi. Maybe you could be looking at a KSI rematch if you win in impressive fashion. And for Salt Papi, yeah, you might be a little bit embarrassed by this Anthony Taylor loss. I wouldn't really say so. The fight wasn't really in your favor. You want a legit opponent? You want a real opponent that you can boost your way up to KSI to help boost you up there? Joe Fournier just fought him. If you beat Fournier in a more impressive fashion than KSI did, if you go in there and starch Fournier in the first round or starch Fournier in a legal manner, there you go. Fast track your way up to the mega fights. So that's why I think Salt Papi's next fight should be Joe Fournier. Do I think they'll make it happen? I don't think so. But I think that fight would be amazing for Salt Papi. Not just for his chance to get redemption, but to cement himself back on top among one of the best influencer boxers. That's the fight Salt Papi wants to take right there. But where does KSI go from here? Tommy Fury. I believe so. I strongly believe so. Both guys want the fight. Here's the real question that we're asking walking away from this. Is the commission going to give KSI a no contest? Is he just going to throw away this fight altogether? Or is KSI going to get his first loss? I don't know. I would lean towards a no contest. I would like to see a no contest because at the end of the day, it's not fair to give KSI the win in the ring and then strip that away from him. If it was going to be a disqualification, they should have named it there in the ring. So I think it's a little too late for that. But let me know what you think in the comments. And let me know, do you think KSI should be disqualified? Or do you think it should be a no contest? And do you think KSI should rematch Joe Fournier? Or do you think he should just move on to better things? And I'll catch you in the next one. Appreciate you guys.